Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Sirio Farrell, the first sword of Bravos, and you are watching the AFK show. Just so.
Everybody. There we go. We want to make it feel like there's a million people in the room. Can you all do that for me? The lady in the front row can. There, see, you guys are jazzed. That's what we want. Guys, this is a Q&A. This is interactive, which means if you guys are not talking to us, we can't talk to you. So we need you to be excited and thrilled, and you all skipped church this morning, right? Yes? Okay. A couple of you did anyway. Well, we did to be here for you, so yay. We are in, where am I? Houston. We're in Houston, right? Travel around a little bit too much. So Houston's going to be the greatest crowd on the planet that we've ever had, right? Hey, look, let's give a hand to all these late people coming in through the back door. Yay! So guys, this is what we're going to do. If you have a question for Billy D, I want you to come right up to this microphone right here. Don't be shy. Everyone's allowed to get up. There's no limit. You can ask a couple of questions if you want. Make your questions interesting for us, okay? We all know that it was great to work with the whole cast. He's not going to tell you that any of them sucked. So put your thinking caps on and ask good, interesting questions, okay? And sadly, I'm just going to kill this part right now for you. There is no information about Star Wars 7, so don't waste that question because there's nothing that we know, okay? And I just know we're going to get one guy who's going to ask it anyway, and it's going to suck. So, without further ado, I want everyone to make him feel the love. Give it up for the coolest man in the galaxy, Billy Dee Williams! Either one, whatever's comfortable for you.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. I haven't been here in quite a few years. My father was from Houston. Many years ago, when he passed away, I brought him back here to a little place called Shepherd, Texas. I think this is just outside of Houston. And so it's been a while. I think I did a couple of movies here, as a matter of fact, at some point or another. But anyway, it's nice to be here. So, thank you.
Yay, yay. Now, I love this. Usually I have to make up stuff before we have a person in line, so I'm going to skip what we usually do, and we'll get to it later, so we'll just start. What's your name and question, sir?
My name is...
Turn on the mic, guys.
My name is David, and of course, a lot of us know you from Star Wars, but I just saw you on NCIS, and a lot of stars that do science fiction kind of get stuck in that genre, but you've managed to do everything from all genres, from TV to movies. I was wondering how you manage that when so many other actors kind of get stuck.
Well, you know, I think the most important thing to me is to stay busy doing things, and at this particular juncture in my life, I don't think so much about building a career as much as I, just whenever anybody asks me to participate in some show on television or some movie, some feature, I'm always, if it's suitable, I'm always willing to do it. It's just a matter of just staying busy, traveling around and doing these conventions and meeting you folks has always been really a wonderful experience for me. But it's just really a matter of staying busy, and then of course when I'm home, I'm always hanging out with my grandkids, which I really enjoy. So, but it's again, reiterate, it's just a matter of just being involved and staying busy.
What's your name and question?
Hello, my name is Caroline, and I know that you're an accomplished painter, and Woman Waiting is my favorite piece of yours, and I was wondering what your favorite medium to work in is.
Well, I work a lot with acrylic and whatever I can get my hands on. But I used to work a lot with oil, but acrylic is a good medium. It suits my temperament at this particular juncture. You can work fast with it. But I use sometimes I'll do mixed media stuff and just use different materials and stuff like that.
Hi, Mr. Williams. My name's Landon, and first of all, I want to thank you for doing what you do and doing what you love and showing us that a character or a person can, specifically with Lando, can make a mistake, even a huge mistake, but still come back from it and be a hero in their own right. So I want to thank you for showing us that. And
Okay, thanks. What mistake did I make?
making a deal with...
Well, you got to think about that whole situation. I mean, I've spent my whole life, justifying this whole situation. But I mean, that was a very, you're dealing. First of all, I always start out by saying nobody died.
Fair point.
And then there's Darth Vader, which is trying to have a discussion with the devil.
My question is, what's the most important lesson you've taken from being an actor and with your work and all of your different roles? What's the most important lesson you can give to us?
Well, I think first you have to love what you do, and you have to devote a lot of time and energy to what you love, and just work hard and pray a lot and hope for the best.
Hey guys, do me a favor. When you ask your question, don't sit down. We want to be able to talk to the person who's asking the question, so that if the question is bad, we can make fun of them as well. So, yes, sir.
I had a question. My name is Thomas Morrow, and I was wondering, at the end of Empire Strikes Back, you are wearing Han Solo's clothes. And this has bugged me for a while, and I need to know, why was that? Why do you think Lando was wearing it?
There are two answers. I'm going to give you one, and then he's going to give you one. The first answer is Lando owned the Falcon first. And when Han got a hold of it and opened the closet, he meant, man, I'd look good in these clothes. Or...
They were an item.
And when Princess Leia walked in the dark, they put the wrong clothes on. Are you happy now?
Good morning. My name is Brett, and I'm just wondering, you've died a couple of times on film. The Rocky movies, you died on film in Predator.
I was never in the Rocky movies.
Pardon?
I was never in a Rocky movie.
I think you're at the wrong Q&A.
You were in Predator, though, weren't you?
No. Carl Weathers.
Oh,
He's the big muscular guy.
I'm going to retreat in shame. Thank you very much for Star Wars. Sorry.
Billy's a little bit more suave than Carl is, I think. Right? Well, wait. Let's half answer that question, though, Billy. Have you ever died in a movie?
I think so.
What was it like? Was it moving? Did you see the white light?
No, I think I played a villain, so it wasn't really moving. But you know, there are several actors, and one in particular that I always thought was, two actors that I always thought were really great when it came to dying in movies. Three, Jimmy Cagney, Edward G. Robinson, and Marlon Brando. Those three. So I always thought, you know, if you do a movie and you have to die, it's got to, the moment should be an epic moment.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, first of all, it's an honor to have you here in Houston, be able to speak to you. My question is over the Batman movie where you played Harvey Dent in the first one with Michael Keaton. I know that in the original draft of the second film, they were supposed to have Harvey Dent playing the Max Schreck character. Was there ever any talk about you coming back as Harvey Dent and maybe even moving on to play Two-Face, the villain? Because honestly, I would have loved to have seen your take on that character.
Well, I had hoped that that would be the case, but it didn't turn out that way because they had changed hands. I think Sony bought them out, and they decided to go in a different direction. I think it would have been much more unique and much more interesting if I had continued to do Two-Face. But anyway, you win some and you lose some.
I agree. I think your take would have been incredible. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Williams.
Hi.
My name's Chelsea Cook, and I have two Star Wars questions. One, what was your favorite scene to film in the Star Wars movies? And the second one is, how is it interacting with the main cast of Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and stuff?
Okay, well, favorite moments, well, coming going to meet the whole group when they came to Cloud City and wearing the cape. That was a lot of fun.
It is a cool cape.
I think that was a signature moment. And my little moments with flirting with Princess Leia and going up against Darth Vader, only to realize that that was not a very smart thing to do. But I found those really fun moments to do. And being choked by Chewie, that was a fun moment. What was the second?
How is it interacting with the main cast of Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher?
What was that?
What was it like interacting with Harrison, Mark, and Carrie?
Oh, good, great. We had a good time. It was fun.
Tell her about hold on guys, tell her about the in Return of the Jedi, how Harrison wouldn't stop acting during that one thing.
Oh yeah, I had gotten a squib in my foot when we were doing the scene above the Sarlacc pit, and I was hurt, and Harrison was trying to save me in the scene. And I was yelling that I was hurt. I'm hurt. You know, but he was so busy acting that he got so involved and so entrenched in what he was doing, he didn't realize that I was hurt at that particular moment. But when I used to tell it was much more interesting. Today it's not so interesting. But anyway.
It's interesting. Harrison didn't care about you. That's great.
Well, he was busy acting.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tara. And I just recently saw you on Dancing with Stars, and I was wondering what was your favorite moment dancing with everybody?
Well, I had a lot of fun doing that show. I had to discontinue because I got my lower back was bothering me. And that's a tough show to do. I mean, it's like, you do like 4 or 5 hours a day for 6 days a week. And it's pretty grueling. And for somebody my age, and I'm 77 years old, yeah, I've managed to get this far. But even for the people your age, I mean, it's pretty tough. I think Danica, she broke her ribs, and one of the professionals, I think he dislocated his shoulder. So it's pretty rough, but it's great exercise and it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you guys all watch Dancing with the Stars when he was on? Who watched? 2 people. Were you guys happy with who won? It finally wasn't Derek? Oh, no comment. They're all like,
well, I get a kick out of Max. I love Max. He's such, I walked up to him, I said, congratulations, bad boy. He reminds me of myself when I was his age. But he's really sexy, and I always get a kick out of him. I mean, when he gets into, dancing with the girls, those ladies, I mean, it gets very, very involved, very personal, and I always enjoy watching that with him. So I was really happy for him. But I thought the girl with the prosthetics, I forget her name, I thought she was going to win it, actually.
She was amazing.
Yeah, she was pretty amazing.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Williams, thank you for coming to this convention. We all appreciate it very much. I know you said no episode 7 questions, but can you tell us about any recent voice acting you've done lately? Star Wars related, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, Rebels.
Yeah? All right. Can you tell us more about your part?
I think it's okay for me to talk about that now, I think.
You are allowed to talk about it now, yes.
So we're not allowed to talk about that?
No, we are allowed to talk about it.
We are. You are too.
You're allowed. We're all allowed.
Okay.
Star Wars Rebels, for those of you who don't know, so we're all on the same page, is the story that takes place between 3 and 4. So Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. It's going to fill in the blanks, and Lando is part of that storyline.
Can you talk about your role in...
That's also why, if you guys want to know a little bit of trivia, that's also why, do you guys remember Star Wars Detours? It was a blip. The whole reason Star Wars Detours didn't continue is because this was happening. So yay, yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so go ahead, sir.
Can you tell us more about your role, and are you having fun doing it?
Rebels?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still working on it, actually. We're doing some extra stuff when I go back into Los Angeles. So, but I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. But I don't like, I won't let anybody else do the voice of Lando. I'll never give Lando up.
Usually we show a little video before he comes out. We've even got like a Robot Chicken clip in there because he does all the voices when you see them on, the Cleveland show, Robot Chicken, things like that. So he is Lando. It's good.
Hello,
Yes.
Mr. Williams. My name is Rose. It's very nice to meet you. I'm wondering how you got the role of Lando. Since the first movie was so popular by the time the sequel came out, did you seek out the role when you heard they were making another one, or did the script just find its way to you?
The script, well, I think, I don't know, it's very interesting. I took what was given to me, and I just had my own point of view and own ideas about how I wanted to present that character. Certainly with the help of, when I was first introduced in The Empire Strikes Back with the help of Irv Kirshner and George Lucas. But I had I sort of gained a reputation in movies as being a kind of a romantic character. And so I wanted to bring that kind of romance to that Lando, sort of a bad boy, roguish, kind of likable rogue kind of character. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
And you know what else is interesting, guys, is another little trivia fact. I mean, you all know, some of the people who are younger don't understand, but like Peter Cushing and Sir Alec Guinness were very well-known established actors when they were hired to do Star Wars. It was their star power that carried the film. And when Empire came along, Mark Harrison and Curie were still rather not known, and Billy joined the ranks of Sir Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing by being a very well-established actor. For the people of that age group, they flocked to the theater to see a science fiction movie simply because he was in it. So you have to look at it in a different way. You've got to get out of the mindset of being 7 at the time, like I was. I had no idea who he was. To me, he was Lando. So if you all think of it that way, it's pretty impressive, the fact that they came and sought him out to be part of that trilogy. So it's bravo to Mr. Williams, because...
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Williams. Thanks for coming. You did this movie in the 70s called Hit, which is awesome. You were with Richard Pryor in it, and y'all had such a great chemistry together. And it's like the Avengers went after drug dealers. It was so good. Can you talk a little bit about making that movie and working with Richard Pryor?
Well, my brain's not working. The director, Sidney Fury. Sidney and I worked together. We did Lady Sings the Blues together. So we decided to come up with something to do again with each other. And I really enjoyed doing that movie because I thought that it was a kind of a departure from the usual stereotype kind of stuff. And I'm always looking to do things that's a departure from, the usual kind of stuff. So I thought it was an interesting movie, and it'll probably have its place as a kind of a genre film. Working with Richard, I don't talk too much about it because I knew him too well. So I don't spend a lot of time discussing Richard.
I understand. It was a great movie.
Yeah. Well,
and so is Brian's song. Brian's song's awesome too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Who out there has seen Hit? Who's seen Hit? Oh, you guys, Netflix, man, come on. You all, next year, when we come back, we want everybody in the audience to have seen Hit, okay? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Carrie. First of all, I wanted to say that I really enjoyed your character in White Collar. I would have liked to seen more of that, his influence on Neil.
Thank you.
But my question is, I heard you originally auditioned for Han Solo. Would you have liked to have played that character, or are you satisfied with playing Lando? Or is there anything you would have changed about the character of Han Solo?
No, Lando is, I enjoyed playing Lando. But there were all kinds of rumors about, there were rumors about me dying and all that sort of stuff. But it's all rumors. No, I was asked to play Lando. And whatever else you know, I don't really know anything about it.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mr. Williams. I'm Nate,
Hi.
and I grew up watching a small movie you did called The Ladies' Man. And what was it like on the set with Tim Meadows, and what's the funniest memory you have from that movie?
We had a good time. It was a time. Um, I thought it was a pretty funny movie, and that character he created was a very interesting, funny character. He created on SNL. So we had a good time. The other movie that I did that I thought was even funnier was Undercover Brother.
Oh, yeah.
That was a hysterical film to me. But no, it was enjoyable. And I'm always looking to participate in stuff that I can exercise my brand of humor is. So it's fun.
After watching Undercover Brother, then everybody run to KFC for some chicken? I did.
Good morning, and thank you for coming out today. You kind of touched on it briefly earlier. As such a regular contributor to Robot Chicken, do you have any stories about working with the team or the production company over there?
Well, it's always great to work with Seth Green, because they're all so crazy and they come up with these crazy ideas. So whenever they call me up to do that stuff, I'm always looking forward to doing it. The one that I really enjoyed was the one and it was due to people always accusing me of betraying Han Solo. So we came up with a very funny idea, which I think was probably the best of all of the ideas, it seems to me. Where I'm standing at a takeout counter, and I go off on somebody about that whole situation. I thought it was pretty funny. You're welcome.
Yeah, but you lived it in real life too, because you said before, like when you went to pick your daughter up at school.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was based on me. When my daughter was little, I used to pick her up from elementary school, and I'm standing out in the middle of a schoolyard, and some kid's running up to me, accusing me of betraying Han Solo. And I'm in the middle of the schoolyard trying to explain the whole situation to these little kids. And then I'd go on an airplane and I'd have the airline stewardess accusing me of betraying Han Solo. I once had a little 10-year-old kid accuse me, and he was so serious, I thought if he had a gun, I would have been dead.
Morning, Mr. Williams. This is a peculiar question. My mother-in-law claims to have dated you way back in the day. We're not related. Priscilla Westerfield or Kershaw, do you recall that name? Back in New York?
Wait, can you hold the mic up? Like, there you go. Ask the question again.
My mother-in-law claims to have dated you back in New York.
Your mother-in-law dated him?
According to my mother-in-law.
Really?
Priscilla,
What do you want, $1,000 or something?
No. I want to see if he recalls her. Confirm or deny this.
Oh, if he recalls. Well, what was her name?
Priscilla Kershaw or Westerfield?
Who?
Priscilla?
Priscilla Herschel?
Kershaw or Westerfield? I don't know what name she went by. Kershaw or
Priscilla?
Westerfield? She lived on 8th Street.
She lived on 8th Street?
8th Street.
Do you know where they went on their date? Do you know where they went on their date?
I'm sorry?
Where did they go on their date?
Well, if it was 8th Street, it would have to be in the 60s somewhere, probably. Yeah.
Probably. No?
I guess, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Okay.
That's a first.
I can't say that I did.
Let's talk about the people you've dated, sir. Hi. Oh, volunteers get to ask questions too? Cool.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Took a lot of courage, but I decided this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So it's incredible to see you, Mr. Williams. And my name is Gabriel, and I wanted to know how do you approach a script and what makes you want to do a character, and what was it about the Star Wars and Lando character that made you say, I want to do this?
Well, generally, I kind of alluded to it before. It's always about doing something that's a departure. It's I hate, for instance, I don't like to do anything that throws me into a kind of a niche where based on ethnicity. I'd rather try to talk about characters using my own or projecting my own unique, like each one of us is unique and we all have a unique point of view to express creatively, if we're creative. And I'm always looking to break away from the usual stereotype stuff that we see so much of. So when I pick or choose, even when I do my paintings, it's never based on any kind of racial, political point of view. And I try to stay away from that kind of stuff as much as I can. So when I pick a character, it's pretty much like Lando. To me, he was part of the future. He was part of a point of view that was devoid of all the stuff that we find ourselves mired in at this particular juncture in our human history. So I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but that's pretty much what.
I was just curious about if there was any backstory behind your fish friend in Return of the Jedi, because like there was no really introduction or name, and he was just kind of there as your co-pilot.
Oh, Nien Num?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about
Did you guys go back, or?
He was just a peculiar look. Well, he was as peculiar to me as it was to you, I think, probably.
I was just curious.
But I made the best of it.
Cool.
I'm always interested in all of the ideas that people come up with, as the creative people who are behind the scenes. And I never, it's interesting, I never asked why that particular character, why that particular looking character. I never explored that.
I mean, it
That
could
would
be
be
his
interesting.
Chewbacca, but
Yeah, it's your own Chewbacca. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I had before.
he had the
Nien
headphones
Num.
guy in the last one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but he was a human, kinda.
Well, he was sort of robotic kind of.
Yeah, but he was more like a servant, where Nien Num was supposed to be like your co-pilot.
Well, you know more about it than I do. Whenever I
just
need to know anything, I just refer to Derek.
Oh, well, because I used to be a Star Wars geek, so, or nerd or whatever, but anyway, I don't know about, what is it? Yeah. No, I am. Yes, go Star Wars.
But you tell me, who is Nien Num? Have you researched him at all?
I've actually never really, I'm looking into it right now, because I actually want to know a little bit more. I know yeah. Well, I'll look it up, and by the time a couple questions go through, we'll have an answer for you.
It's funny, I never, now I'm going to look it up. I never really researched it.
Mr. Williams, my name is Mike. I'm the AV and Technology Coordinator for the entire con, and I've turned off my radio because everybody knows I waited patiently. Today, you are making my con. There are two questions.
Well, that's very
Actually,
kind
there's
of
a
you.
question,
Thank you.
and then I would like to ask you to do something. First, let's do the something. I saw you years ago at another convention in Atlanta, and you recited the poem Invictus, and that has stuck to me as the best job of somebody reciting that poem that I have ever heard.
Well, thank you. I lived by that almost all of my life, actually, since I was in my early 20s.
After I get done asking the question and you discuss it, could you do that for the audience?
Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In this fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under this bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Yeah, that was very, at an early point in my life, it was my mantra, or my credo.
I don't know if anybody else, because I came in late, but one of the things that I found remarkable about you is that, you know, everybody talks about Star Wars and Lando Calrissian and everything else, but the reality is you are an historical actor that has paved the path for African American actors through the years. And that experience that you can relate to the audience is incredible. And I'd like you to do some of that.
What was you?
It wasn't really a question. It was kind of a, just talk about how from beginning to now, things have changed so much as far as race is concerned in acting, and the things that you've seen and you've had to deal with that nowadays African American actors don't necessarily have to deal with or are still dealing with. But just from the historical perspective, you know, your influence on film is incredible. So relating that is kind of what I wanted all these people to hear.
Well, I don't really, I don't really, it's too big a question to really get into at this particular point. I don't know, you know, we just do what we have to do and experience what we experience, and all of the experiences that we have either push us forward, hold us back, or push us forward. So, you know, it's what it is. And the hope is always that things will improve and get better, and people begin to look at things in a from a much broader perspective. I think, you know, it's a big question. Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.
We're getting very philosophical here this morning. Okay, if Nia Num in the extended universe went on to become the administrator of the planet Kessel and its spice mines and ended slavery and generally sorting things out on the planet. Not bad for a dude with a face like a melancholy bulldog. So what has Lando done lately?
He's hanging out.
Okay, we have time for a couple more questions. Yes.
Good morning. My name is
Morning.
Arcelia, and I just wanted to ask you two questions. The first one is, what was the best thing, what is the thing you love most about your acting career?
About what?
Your acting career.
What do I like most about it?
No, like, what is the thing that you love most about it? Like, do you always get excited about filming or doing voice acting?
Well, first of all, I think I'm very lucky. I'm one of the lucky. I mean, they say about 95%, 90%, 95% of actors are out of work. So I've been very, very fortunate in my life to be able to make a living from being in this weird, crazy business.
Thank you. And what was the biggest challenge, if there were any challenges at all, filming Star Wars?
What was the biggest challenge? I don't know. Every situation, every acting job is a challenge. The challenge is always, I think, primarily to make the character believable. And I always think about vulnerability. Vulnerability is, I think, always an important element to creating a character, especially when I've always liked, I don't know, you're too young to know people like Betty Davis and James Cagney, and all they played a lot of characters that were not always very nice, but you liked them, and they always had an audience for some of the things that they'd done, because there was always this element of vulnerability in even when they played bad people. So I think vulnerability, I always think about vulnerability. You're welcome.
All right, after a couple of serious questions, I guess it's time for one to bring down the tension or whatever. Thank you again for coming, Lady Williams.
Thank you.
A few years ago, you did a video that I saw online. You took place in it. It was a song about the Ewoks. It was like a music video. It was like a gospel song with the Ewoks, about the Ewoks. Could you tell us a little bit about that, your involvement in that?
I kind of vaguely remember it.
Okay, well, I can sing part of it.
Do you remember it?
No, I mean, it is out there. It was funny.
I vaguely remember it.
It goes, it's been a quarter of a century now, people, since the rebels won the day.
It was, it was, I forget, yeah, I know what it is. It was about a couple of years ago. I think it's been about a year or two years ago. They filmed it with, actually filmed it using iPhones.
Oh, really? I had no idea. What was it, like, was that at a convention?
Some of it, anyway.
Was that like at a convention, or what was the circumstance?
It was for something, and I really...
I don't remember what it was for.
What?
You know what? Why don't we do this?
Might have been
Everybody,
that.
when you leave here, you can look up on Google Lando Calrissian Ewok song, and it'll come up on YouTube, and you can all watch it. Because it's funny.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it might be Funny or Die. That might be it.
All right, well,
okay.
Thank you anyway. It's an honor.
Okay, thanks.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Not too long ago, you played a character by the name of Toussaint Dubras, the singing janitor.
The
General
what?
Hospital. Character Toussaint I think it's Dubras.
Night shift.
Dubras.
Yeah, on Night Shift.
Yes. Have you? You didn't? I thought you also appeared on the daytime program. Have you ever thought about
You mean
going
General
back?
Hospital?
Yes, sir.
No, it was.
One or two
It
episodes.
was on
there?
Night Shift it was a spinoff.
Right. Have you ever thought about revising that character or going on General Hospital? And how did you like the different genres?
Oh, I had fun doing the daytime or the soap opera. I mean, I think many years ago when I was a kid growing up in New York, I did maybe people talk about some soap opera I was on, but I wasn't a regular character, but I enjoyed the experience of being on the show, but I don't know if I would want to do it again. No. You're welcome.
So guys, good. Yeah. If anyone didn't get to ask a question, don't be shy. You can come down to the signing table and you can ask it there. There's no pressure to buy anything. Billy is happy to answer your questions down there because I know there was a couple people who got up. Also, if you're on Twitter, follow Billy at RealBDW, at RealBDW. His website, so you can see some of his art that he does, is bdwworldart.com. And you can also go to his fan page on Facebook, Billy Dee Williams.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out and sharing this time with me. I'm really honored. Thank you.